We start this scene in a cafe. Anna is sitting at a table. Her friend is giving her some advice, and for a moment she considers it. She sighs with a disappointed expression, shakes her head, and repeats softly, "Yes, but..." In another kitchen, John is standing by the counter. He's washing a dish while Lisa is beside him drying the dishes. Accidentally, she drops a spoon on the floor, and it makes a loud noise. John suddenly raises his voice, points angrily at her, and shouts, "Now I've got you." Lisa lowers her head in sadness and shock. In a living room, Clara slumps on the sofa. Her shoulders are down, and her face has a hopeless expression. She says in a weak voice, "Poor me." Her friend sits beside her. She looks tired and frustrated. In an office at night, Michael is surrounded by stacks of papers on his desk. A computer screen is glowing in front of him. He wipes his forehead dramatically and declares loudly, "I am working so hard." At the door, his colleague watches him with an uneasy, guilty look. In another living room, Sophia is trying to rearrange some decorations on a shelf. Her friend protests, but she ignores him and continues to move things around. Finally, she puts one decoration back and puts her hand on her chest with a hurt expression. She says, "I only meant well." At a dining table, Ethan sits with his father. He looks determined. His father tells him he will never succeed. Ethan clenches his fist tightly, and with fire in his eyes, he says, "I'll show you." All of the characters freeze in their expressions: disappointment, anger, or sadness. This is the game people play. It's different in form, but always ends the same way. They end up frustrated, guilty, and then they create distance. And if you recognize these behaviors in yourself, don't worry. This is not a bad thing. This is what we call the normal way of relating to people. Most of us do it without even being aware, so let's explore this more. When we say, "Yes, but," we may think we are being reasonable. We acknowledge what the other person said, but then we add our own opinion and ultimately avoid agreeing fully. Maybe you feel that what the other person said is not entirely true or complete, so you want to add your own thoughts. But here's the thing, when we use this phrase, we may think we are helping the situation, but actually we are not really listening. We are just waiting for our turn to talk again. So what can we do instead? One simple thing: pause. Just pause and reflect on what the other person has said before adding your own thoughts. You might discover that what they said was actually correct and that you need to listen more and talk less. When we say, "I've got you," we might think we are being firm. We set boundaries and show who is in charge. But have you noticed that after saying this, there is often a moment of silence? The other person may be thinking, "What did I say?" Or maybe they feel humiliated. They lower their head and become passive. What can we do instead? When we notice that someone has made a mistake, we can take a deep breath before responding. We can then calmly explain what happened, why it is a problem, and how to fix it. When we say, "Poor me," we may think we are being humble. We acknowledge our own mistakes and weaknesses. But when we say this too often, we may sound weak and self-absorbed. People may think that we are making excuses and avoiding responsibility. So what can we do instead? Whenever we notice that something is bothering us, we can try to solve the problem ourselves first. If we can't, we can then ask for help. But it is important to remember to also show what we have already done and what we are willing to do. This shows that we are serious and committed to finding a solution. When we say, "I am working so hard," we might think we are being productive. We work long hours and achieve many things. But if we compare our work to others, we may see that we are actually doing less. What can we do instead? When we notice that we are working hard, we can stop for a moment and reflect on the quality of our work. Are we focused and efficient, or are we just busy? Sometimes it is better to take a break and return to work with a fresh perspective. When we say, "I only meant well," we may think we are being helpful. We have good intentions, but we fail to consider other people's feelings. What can we do instead? Before doing something, we can ask ourselves, will this be helpful to the other person? If we are not sure, it's best to ask them directly. By communicating openly, we can build trust and understanding and avoid causing unnecessary hurt. When we say, "I'll show you," we may think we are being determined. We believe in our abilities and are confident in our plans. But have you noticed that when someone says this, the relationship often becomes tense? There may be a lot of arguing and conflict. What can we do instead? When faced with challenges, we can remember that setbacks are temporary. Instead of focusing on improving ourselves, we can focus on learning and growing from the experience. If we maintain a positive attitude and keep trying, we will eventually succeed. So the next time you find yourself playing these games, remember to pause, breathe, and choose your words wisely. Remember, awareness is the first step towards freedom. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next one.